Elsie and the Ex-Husband.
My name is Elsie, and yes, I am 72. I am still in love with Sean, my handsome younger man of 40. But tonight I must tell you a story about the past, a story about one of my ex-husbands. Now, darling, do not look so shocked. I told you before, I was married 3 times. One husband was a director, one was a businessman, and one was an artist. Each one was different, and each one gave me memories. This story is about Richard, the director. Richard was brilliant, charming, and handsome. He made movies that people still talk about. He loved the camera, and the camera loved him. And once, long ago, he loved me. But Richard was also difficult. He wanted the world to move around him. He wanted me to be quiet when I was never quiet. He wanted me to be small when I was born to be big. So the marriage ended. We said goodbye. I kept the diamonds. He kept the scripts. Years passed. I married again. He married again. We lived our lives. We both stayed in Hollywood, of course. And in Hollywood, darling, you cannot hide forever. One night, Sean and I were invited to a film gala in Beverly Hills. It was a glittering evening. The chandeliers sparkled, the champagne flowed, and the cameras flashed. I wore a blue velvet gown with silver earrings that touched my shoulders. My hair was high, golden and perfect. Sean, in his sharp suit, walked beside me. He was calm, but I knew he felt the eyes on us. Everyone always looks. Everyone always whispers. Then across the room I saw him, Richard. He was older now, with silver hair and a slower walk, but his eyes were still sharp. His smile was still that same movie star smile. And of course he was not alone. On his arm was a woman, young, beautiful, maybe 30. She wore a dress cut far too low, but who am I to judge? Elsie, Richard said when we met in the middle of the room. His voice was smooth, like butter melting. You look incredible. I tilted my chin. Of course I do. He laughed. You haven't changed. Oh, Richard, I said, I have changed. I am better. Sean shook his hand politely, though I could feel his fingers tighten on mine. He did not like the way Richard looked at me, as if I were a memory he still owned. We sat at nearby tables, and the evening went on. But I could feel Richard's eyes on me. When the speeches ended, he came over again. Elsie, he said softly, do you ever miss it? Us? Now, darling, here is the truth. I did not miss him, not at all. I missed the gowns, the premieres, the private jets, but Richard? No. He was part of my story, but he was not my joy. I smiled at him, a smile sharp as diamonds. Richard, I never miss the past. I am too busy living the present. He looked at Sean, then back at me. And this is your present? His voice was heavy with doubt. Yes, I said simply. This is my present. and he is wonderful. Sean, bless him, lifted my hand and kissed it right there in front of Richard. The room seemed to pause just for a moment. I could almost hear the whispers begin again. Richard gave a small laugh, but there was no joy in it. You always knew how to make an entrance and an exit. Exactly, I said. And now, Richard, if you will excuse me, my dance is waiting. I pulled Sean to the dance floor. The music was soft, the lights golden. Sean put his arms around me, and we moved together, slow and sure. "Are you all right?" Sean whispered. I looked up at him and smiled. "Darling, I am more than all right." "Did you see his face when you kissed my hand?" "Oh, that was delicious." Sean laughed, and I laughed too, because really it was funny. Richard, the great director, still trying to write me into his story. But he forgot one thing. I write my own script now. The music rose and we danced. Around us people watched, whispered, wondered. But I did not care. My life is not theirs to judge. Richard will always be a chapter in my book, but Sean is my page now, my bright, shining page. And as we moved under the lights, I thought to myself, I was a star then. I am a star now. And stars, darling, never go back. We only move forward.
Now, let's take some time to think about this story more deeply. Answering the questions to ponder out loud will help you improve your speaking skills. Questions to ponder. 1. How did Elsie feel when she saw Richard again at the party? 2. Why do you think Sean was important in this situation? 3. What does Elsie mean when she says she writes her own script now? 4. How did Elsie show confidence when Richard asked about their past? 5. What lesson can we learn about moving forward instead of living in the past? Thanks for listening and pondering with us. Please like and subscribe and stay tuned for our next story.